Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Lloyd Briggery from the Breaking In crew. Just want to welcome you guys to my latest iteration, the latest episode of Breaking In. So I'll just get right to it. It is Friday, February 26th, I believe, and I've just flown in from LA, and boy, are my arms tired. Ha! Great. No, I'm kidding. I didn't fly. I actually took a plane myself. Anyway, it's Friday evening. I'm at the Kubert School. I got a deadline that I'm finishing up, so I figured I'd take pause and update you guys with everything that happened at Long Beach Comic Expo and everything that's going to come from that. That being said, the convention was great. It was my very first one. Had a great time. Man, it's 30 plus degrees out here in Jersey. It's 85 degrees in LA. So first of all, let's just start there. It's sunny and warm. Secondly, the people in California, man, they're just real cool. It actually reminded me of being down south with Southern hospitality. People say hi to you and ask you how you doing. They do that in California, apparently. Maybe I've been living on the East Coast, like on the upper, the Northeast, for too long, because I got freaked out at first. People talking to me, asking me how I'm doing. The nerve of these people. What's wrong with them? No, but they were really cool. Like, just showing love, man. A lot of love. I had to carry my table easel around, and so people saw that, and they were asking about what I did for a living, and people were just really supportive of the artistic world all throughout LA. That was cool. And I know LA is like an entertainment capital of the world, so I probably should have expected that, but you never know. Literally, it was in foreign territory, so you never know. The convention itself was profitable. Made more money than that I actually needed. So I made like money that like I wanted to make. Of course, now I wanted to make all the money. Like all of it. I wanted to sell out of everything. That didn't happen, but I did make sales. Also made some very, very, very good, solid connections for projects in the future. My book, The Nazarite, the story of Samson, told through the eyes of a young Philistine boy, is coming out at the end of March. I was able to shop it around a little bit at the convention. I printed a little 5-page booklet with that and some of the concept art in it, and got a ton of great feedback. A lot of interested people in the book. So that was really, really cool. And I'm so grateful and thankful for all of that. That being said, one thing I did learn was just kind of where I fit kind of in the fabric of, artists at comic book conventions. I have a fine arts background, or I would say an appreciation for fine arts. I've been doing portraits of people since I was a child for money, and so the way I see comic art is more realistic, more like an Alex Ross or a Lee Bermejo, and I love guys like Gabriel Dell'Otto and Simon Bianchi. Like, these are my favorite artists. They're influenced by more realism than cartooning, but at the end of the day, it's still cartooning, because even though it's more of a realistic approach, you're drawing characters in capes and tights. Like, it's still very fantasy, but that's kind of how I see art in my mind as well. So you can only draw how you see it, and I found that people really, really appreciated that, and so that was cool. I sold an original painting, and for all you artists out there that know the difference between originals and prints and the cost, as far as purchasing goes, that's a really good thing. So what I learned at this convention was I was more like that baseball player that swings for the fences every time at bat. He's going to strike out a lot. He really is, and that's okay. But the bottom of the ninth, when you're down one and you need a grand slam, you're going to want that guy at the mound, because if he makes contact with the ball one time, it's going out of the park. And that's kind of what happened. It was late on Sunday. Somebody came by and really dug some of my originals, the fine art portraiture stuff that I do, and I sold an original, and that was it. Like that one sale made the entire con for me, and like I was doing okay leading up to that. Like I was able to like not have to go in my pockets to eat dinner and enjoy Long Beach, but that one sale made all the difference. So totally grateful for that. It actually has inspired me now to do a couple more prints in that vein. What sold was it was a Bruce Lee painting that I did a few years back, and met a lot of Bruce Lee enthusiasts in California. Should have expected that because that's where he hung out. But it was Bruce Lee in a suit from a Mercedes Benz ad in the '70s, and so I know he's the kind of star that kind of transcends all genres. So I made a list of stars that kind of fit in that vein, but different shots of him. Like everybody knows Bruce Lee in the yellow jumpsuit and his black gi doing kung fu, but him in a suit with the blue blockers on, man, with all that class and swag just oozing off of him. That was him in a different light. So that's what I'm doing now, kind of iconic shots of some of our favorite pop cultural heroes, but in a different light. So more to come on that. Also, my efforts now will be going to finishing the Nazarite issue 1 up, which should be available at the beginning of April. So, like I said, made some really, really solid connections, and it was good. It was good, man. I didn't want to come back because it was so warm out there and it was so nice, but they didn't have any more conventions going on, and I need to make some more money to stay out there. So next time. So it's just all in all, it was a wonderful trip. I'm glad I took it. It was totally worth the investment and all the time and effort. And now I'm looking for the next convention to do. I have a whole list of lessons learned. One funny story I'll tell you guys. So you guys know I use a table easel now. I call her Francesca. The table easel folds down into like a briefcase. And so I'm able to set up my art on an easel that sits on the tabletop. And so like I draw upright. Well, there just so happened to be a coffee table in my my hotel room, and the hotel was connected to the convention center, and so I felt like I think this coffee table would be a good addition to my convention table setup, meaning like I could set Francesca up on the coffee table and turn her at such an angle that people would be able to see me do the art, and that may be a good experience for viewers and guests at the con. And so I looked at the table, then I looked at my bag, ding ding ding. Can't plan these things, can you? But lo and behold, the table fit in my bag. So I kind of put the table in the bag, rolled it out of the hotel and into the con. My only prayer was that there was no microchip in the table somewhere that would set off alarms, and ended up being a really good thing. People were fascinated, and I've known this for a while. Like non-artists are fascinated by the process of art creation. So I was able to do that and got a couple commissions off of it. People were able to see me drawing, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, can you draw this for me?" Yeah, and I'm like, "Yeah, here's the price," And so that's how that worked out. So it worked out really well. I think the biggest thing coming away from Long Beach Comic Expo was knowing that I can actually do this for a living. And as artists, I'm trained. I've studied, and I've never stopped learning, and I always love feedback. But at the end of the day, we still need that validation, and not just compliments, not just hey, that's great, but like hey, I want to pay for that. And so just knowing that was one to grow on. So I don't want to, belabor the conversation. I know you guys got stuff to do. I just wanted to give you an update on what's going on, more to follow. Just be on the lookout for all the social media stuff. Briggerie'sHQC.tumblr.com, which is HQC is high quality content. Got to keep it coming. Follow my art page on Facebook, and keep checking into Breaking In, because we are slowly but surely breaking in. So it's coming. So be on the lookout. All right, guys. Love you. Thank you so much for all your support. Peace out.